What's up, everybody?
Hi there.
It's February 20th, 2021. We're here for episode 2. And here we got Patricia Ambas, my wife, partner in crime. It's just kind of funny how we're starting right now because we're filming during business hours, and this was actually the first song that came on our playlist when we opened the door. So
yeah, very fitting.
Very
right?
fitting. Yeah.
Full circle moment.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. This is our first time, obviously, doing it with guests in the house. A little quieter right now. It's after the lunch rush hour, but yeah, we're here.
Should be good.
Here at Manila.
Here we are.
Yeah. So yeah, why don't we dive into things and kind of introduce you a little bit so that people can get to know you a little bit.
Should I feel like I'm second best?
Why?
Because this is the second podcast and I'm only just now being introduced?
No.
Anyone else feel me on this? No, it's fine. This is his thing, and I was actually excited that I got to be a guest already so soon. But yeah, so I'm his wife. And when he mentioned Manila, like that was the first time we were really working together, besides like planning our wedding, which is not quite the same thing as opening a restaurant from the ground up. But that was our first time working together, and we did a pretty good job of it. We worked together for how many years? 4 years then?
It was about 4 years. That's the amount of time. Well, if we didn't have kids, she probably would still be working here.
Yes, but I worked up till like New Year's Eve. We closed at 2 a.m., and then Evelyn was born 2 days later.
Yeah.
And so then I said...
But she said right from the get-go, like, I'm all in about Manila all the way up until we have kids. And when Evelyn came, that's how it happened.
Yeah, well, it's also because I teach during the day.
I know.
And I would get back to Oshkosh around 4:30 and then come in for the dinner rush when we opened at 5. And there was no way when would I ever see a child. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I think we're all happy with this choice, including the children.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit more about us. We've been married now for 11 years.
11 years.
And counting. We have 2 wonderful children at home. Well, they're here.
What do you do?
Which is kind of their second home. They're running around or watching something.
Yeah.
But
COVID, there's no such thing as babysitters during COVID times.
Yeah.
The kids just come with you everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Evelyn just turned 7 in January, and Reginald's about to turn 5 in April. And we have baby number 3 coming right there. Her due date is March 31st, but the other 2 have been pretty early. Not pretty early, but earlier than...
Never scary early, just always early.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got a little fun contest for those of you who are listening and watching us right now. We're going to give a $25 gift card to the person that guessed correctly when baby girl Ambas is coming. So.
And I hope someone has like some like really feel good intuition on this, so that when you're like posting like, oh, it's definitely going to be this day, because I'd rather be prepared, but obviously
Right.
She needs to come at her own time. So
Yeah.
let me know if you've got like that really like uncanny sense and have really good prediction rates, and then maybe you'll be the one getting the gift card then.
Yeah. So where should we have them post? On Facebook? Instagram? I guess both.
Both. We'll look at both. Take a look at both.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you like Facebook, sometimes you like Instagram.
Yeah.
Do it. You do you, all right?
Oh, yeah. So speaking of, yeah, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, on our website, thebarkadapodcast.com. And we'll have everything posted there. Still trying to figure all this stuff out, like where to post things, how to get things to people, and everything like that. So it's definitely a learning process.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I love getting things started up, as Patricia is very familiar with. All these
starting new projects
and whatever. Just keep myself busy, I guess, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, this is always a fun way for us to reconnect with people, too. and share a story that people may not have heard, so.
Like the story of how he said, honey, someday I'd like to open a restaurant. I'm like, sure, great. I support you in that when we were first married.
So I'm like,
Turns out, I was thinking like when he like retired after having like a career and then someday he's going to open a restaurant. And then next thing you know, we were looking at like buildings in Oshkosh and I'm like, what is happening? Like you're actually like doing this? So even everything with the podcast, I was like, oh, someday I want to do a podcast. Someday I do. And then here he is. He's like making it happen. So he's all about taking action and making it happen, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's something I mentioned on the blog on the website, is that it sometimes when you have an idea in your mind, you just gotta, saw someone posting, you gotta jump in,
Yeah.
You just gotta get right to it, because
Take action.
You can sit there and try to plan things and try to make things as perfect as possible, but you just get better along the way, and you learn. This has definitely been an absolute learning experience from so many different views.
And we're talking about the restaurant and the podcast and
just everything.
Life in general, raising kids. Hello, who out there is you just learn it as you go. You can't just wait, because it's going to happen whether you like it or not if the baby's on the way. And so you can't wait for things to be perfect, like you said. You just have to take action, and you figure it out along the way. So putting those life lessons into practice.
Yeah. Well, back to how we got Manila started. What started off as an idea was more like, well, I'm from town, lived here for a very long time, since I was 7. And when you're in live in one spot for a while, you're always thinking of what could your hometown or town use, or what can go in town that is not already here.
What could make it better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there isn't a Filipino restaurant in the Valley, so we were the first ones to do that. But we also knew, as we mentioned in episode 1, that our cousin, Chef Ray Gaza, was very familiar in the culinary arts and was Japanese trained out in Paris and stuff like that. So he helped us with all the sushi and Japanese aspects of our menu. And we knew that he produced a great product, and, he helped us along the way. And it's so cool that we have that to tie on, with our menu here that we have at Manila. So
if you get the volcano cake, that is his friend's secret recipe. His friend is, what is it called when you're a baker of just desserts?
I don't know.
There's a specific word. If you know it, let me know what it is, because I can't think of it right now. But his friend is pastry chef. There we go, pastry chef. And so this is his friend's secret recipe that I think he did a little bit of tweaking to, but French-based recipe, and we have it here at Manila, and that's why everyone loves our volcano cake. Get it with the side of ice cream. Definitely add on the ice cream for it. That's my number 1 tip for that. But yeah, it's fun working with him, and not just taste testing all the different volcano cake recipes, but it was fun working with him, and he helped us get everything set up off the ground from the start. And I love that family is such a big part of it, as well as the community was a big factor. Friends are a factor. All of this came together.
Yeah,
because of
for
that.
Sure. Yep. Where do we go from here?
I thought you wanted to talk about me.
Yeah. Well, along with being biggest fan and supporter of me, I guess I'd like to take a moment to thank you for everything.
Aww,
I know I don't say it enough, but I hope you know that.
I know you mean it.
Yeah. And I hope you're successful in your PosiFit business and whatever you decide to choose in the future, So
he's going to drop in the PosiFit. Here we go.
A little segue into what she does.
Excellent.
And all that fun stuff. So
thanks.
Yeah, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
I'm going to tell you all about it. So as I mentioned before, I'm also a teacher. And so that's why if I teach by day, I used to be able to go to bed at 10 p.m. and then go teach and then come home and do the restaurant and, get to bed by 10 p.m. and do it all over again, all those days. And then once we had Evelyn, then I just focused on teaching. And I would try to do the restaurant, but I couldn't. It's not as easy to come in as things shift and things change. Before you knew it, the next time I'm in, I don't even recognize the staff anymore because everyone has become so new in the space. So teaching is my full-time career. I love culture and language and everything like that, like learning about different places. And so I'm able to do all of that at my work every single day because I work with students who speak another language. And so I work in the Fox Valley area. I love what I do. I love my students. I work at the middle school and the high school level, and I just love being able to connect with them. So that part of my life is really incredible, and it transitioned nicely when I decided to, after I had Reginald, I just kind of was in a funk, and I can remember it vividly, like sitting at my desk crying while I'm trying to pump over my lunch break. And I don't know if it was like, I just couldn't, I felt like I couldn't keep up with all the things, and I was losing my milk supply. And I'm like, this is how my child eats, because he was exclusively breastfed and then breast pump. He would do all the bottles at home. And it was just so hard, and I knew I was too stressed out, and something had to change. And I thought, all right, well, what can I change, right? Because sometimes you get in those points where I can't leave my job. I have to, I wanted to keep breastfeeding. And I didn't want it to be because I was so stressed that I couldn't breastfeed. Man, if you have a lot of guys talking to this and they get weird about this, if you're not dads, sorry for all the B word here I'm using.
You said nursing.
Nursing, all right, nursing. So clearly I talk more to women than to men. But it just got to the point where I was too stressed for my body to be able to handle what was going on, and I knew something had to change. So what could I control? And so I had a friend who was like posting like these health shakes, and I was like, that's so weird that she drinks those. So I was like, at that point, I was like, I will try anything. And so I'm like, hey, friend, tell me about this health shake thing that you're doing. Like, I clearly need something to be healthier. And so she's like, here, I got this, but it also comes with the fitness. And I was like, sure, fine, whatever, right? If I'm paying for one, I might as well get the other for free and actually do it. And that literally shifted everything in my life. Once you change your nutrition, right, to be healthier, and you're spending like 30 minutes a day just on yourself and your health, I needed that mental break. Mm-hmm. And then, like, that milk supply came back in. Like, I was feeling better at home. I felt better at work. I felt better everywhere. And so it took maybe 4 or 6 months after that, maybe 4 months, that I was like, everyone should actually be doing this. And so that was when I decided to start coaching people how to eat better and to live fit and live healthy using the products that I use as well. And from that, it took a long time to get there, but from that is now what I call PosiFit. And so that's blending positivity with fitness, living a fit life, not just fit in like physical sense, but mental fitness, financial fitness, like all this. We just want to be fit and healthy in so many areas of our life. And so let's use positivity to get there, and let's live that fit life. And so PosiFit is the health coaching business that I have and is my other passion. And like I said before, teaching blends in really well with my PosiFit business because I can teach others how to live a more positive and fit life. And so that's been really fun.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess what else do they get if they, sign up through you or whatever?
Ooh, let's do a whole plug.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why we're
here.
To share what other people do.
What we have to offer, right?
What you have to offer.
All the things. So just like I'm telling you, like I really recommend that you have a volcano cake. Life's about balance, right? Here's what you get. You get me as your coach. And so I use online platforms. It's COVID times. Of course, everything's going to be online anyways. But before that, it's always been an online platform so that you don't physically have to check in anywhere. You don't have to go to a gym. I work out in my living room. He does the programs in like our little workout area, and everything is just accessible. All of the workouts themselves are accessible all online, kind of like a Netflix.
Yeah, that's great because like even
workouts.
when we're on vacations and stuff like that, if you plan ahead, like you can download your workouts onto your device, your phone, your tablet, or even your computer, just to make sure that you have it, because
even if you don't have internet connection.
Yeah, so it's ready to go. And we've done stuff like that in our small like cabins and
on cruise
ships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you just want to get a workout in and stuff before
kids are
you
still
start your day.
sleeping.
Yep.
And what do? We just quick little tiny space, and we make it happen. So it's so nice that it can go with you wherever you are. You can make it work wherever you have to be, apartments, houses, wherever it is. So the fitness part of it is really great. And
Yeah.
there's everything from, like, I'm doing prenatal programs since I'm pregnant right now, to you were just doing a boxing program. I have, like, gotten insanely ripped. Like, it's one of those things, like, if you keep following that program, yes, I could maintain it. But I bounce around and I try different things. And there's over 70 programs, but over, like, 5,000 workouts themselves. It's incredible, the amount of resources that are on there. And so then not only is it all these workouts, but then there's also the nutrition plans that go along with it. Because sometimes you might just feel like, just tell me what to eat and I'll eat it, right? Like, I don't know what to do, like, just tell me. And so it's teaching people from the ground up how to eat better, how to live better. And I'm all about sustainability. Like, if you can't keep it up for the rest of your life, then it's just a diet. And we don't do diets because...
No, it's got to be a change of lifestyle.
Yeah, it's got to be a lifestyle. So that's why I say eat the volcano cake, because...
Treat yourself.
Like, why not? Why not? And if you go the whole time without ever having this delicious volcano cake, I should get off this topic because I'm going to have to order one pretty soon if I don't stop talking about it.
Get one in. We're open.
I'll get one in now, and then you guys can watch me eat it.
Tim's going to be jelly because we can actually get food
wanted
while
food.
we're open.
And he didn't get it last time.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to pause right here, though. So we're talking about the workouts, but you get to meet one of our littles. This one is Reginald. Reginald,
You say hi, buddy?
Can
Can you come up by mommy? So yeah. Oh, careful.
Here, I'll set it right over here. So Reginald, I hope you can tell everyone how old you are. There's not much space in my lap, huh? Good job. Keeping the cords up. Oh, you know just what to do with that microphone. What could you say into the microphone?
You say hello?
You don't need to touch it. You're okay. Say hello.
Hello.
He's fluent in baby. So anytime that the baby in my belly is talking, he translates for us and tells us what she's saying. So that works out really conveniently. Reginald, how old are you?
4.5.
4.5. Can you talk like someone who's 20? Can you talk like a teenager? That's how a teenager talks? Well, Reginald is our hero-loving superheroes, action, swords, weapons. He can craft and build all sorts of things. I'd say, what are we doing here? Oh, he's showing it off. All right, showing it off.
All right, buddy. Sounds good? You good?
How
All
about
done?
this? Can you tell him what you're going to be when you grow up? Say it into the microphone.
A babysitter.
He wants to be a babysitter.
Because he loves babies.
Well, good thing we have another baby coming, so you can watch your little sister, right?
I can't even understand that.
Well, he can also be a translator for us
Yeah.
once baby comes.
I don't know. All right. Thanks
Right
for
on, buddy.
being here.
Thanks for visiting.
We'll see you later. Can I give you back your mask?
There you go, bud. All right. So yeah, we're here again at Manila. The Barkada Podcast is brought to you by Manila Resto. It's a modern Asian kitchen with Filipino and Asian cuisine right here in downtown Oshkosh. Visit us on the website at www.manilaresto.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff.
Excellent. So we were talking about the fitness portions and the fitness options that come if you were to join me and be a member of the PosiFit Place. That's what we call our online community. So not only do you get all the fitness, you get the nutrition aspects, but then I was telling you about that shake. And I feel like it's magic for me in a couple of different ways. One, it's got like tons of nutrients, like all of, oh my gosh, antigens and adaptogens and probiotics and prebiotics and all of these great things that go into it. And if you tried to make this shake on your own, you'd have to have like a bazillion different ingredients to add to it to get all of this nutrition that our bodies need. And so it's all these nutrition pieces, components that, like sometimes with vitamins, like you need one so that you can absorb the other. Like all of that goes into it. And if you were to compare like this type of shake with all of the other shakes that are out there, it's not the cheapest, but that's because you get what you pay for, right? And so it is the best one in the market in terms of all the things that go into it. So I love it because of the nutrition value. I couldn't drink it my first trimester because I could hardly eat anything but mac and cheese and bread. I think that was what I ate.
Those are go-to.
And now we have all this mac and cheese in our house because now I'm like, I will not eat that. But that was all I could eat then. And so I was so sad I couldn't have a first trimester because like I just wanted to like build the healthiest little baby ever, and it worked so well for my body for the past four years that I wanted to keep it up. So now I'm back at it, and it's great. The other thing I love about it is that it's so easy and convenient. Sometimes I'll make a whole bunch of shakes ahead of time for the week, and then we just have them in the fridge ready to go. But a lot of times when I have zero time to prep or prepare, I'm just making sure that I have a cup. I can just add water, ice cubes if I want it, and then I add in a packet of my shake, and I have a lunch on the go. So it saves me when we're traveling. It saves me when we're running errands, and then all of a sudden our errands run longer than you expect, right? And we're just getting hangry.
It never happens.
That always happens. Then the shake saves me. So I love the shake for so many reasons, but mostly it's going to be because of that nutrition factor, and then because it's so easy to have in my life. So positive community, focusing on positivity, lifting each other up. Like mostly I work with women, but in the community, but I also work with men in outlining like text threads or messenger threads, that type of thing to support them. But then we just work on our health and our fitness and keeping a positive mindset. So I encourage you, if you are looking for a change in your health, or you're like, okay, well, I said I would change in 2020 and I never quite did. 2021 must be the year for you. Let's connect. You can find me on Facebook. I have PosiFit with Patricia on Facebook and Instagram, and you can find me there. And I just share messages.
Yeah, that just popped a couple things in my head. Like, she's got some great stories and stuff to follow. She's constantly posting. Maybe you can repost some of the earlier ones where the kids are just kind of always in your workouts. And there's some funny ones where Reginald may or may not have gotten bumped over. It's hilarious. Maybe we'll post it on the... The
glute muscles were getting really strong, and then all of a sudden he just kind of ran into them. So
yeah, we'll have to post that somewhere so you guys can see it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, right on. Well, we're going to take a brief pause here, but thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
And then we'll be back in just a little bit. And we're back here at Manila. We're here to talk a little bit more about, the idea of the Barkada Podcast. And yeah, what do you think of the name and I guess its purpose and everything like that? I mean, we're still trying to define and find out who we are, involve as our listeners, give us feedback and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, where do you think we are in terms of what we've been doing with one episode?
So I really like the concept, but it's not just one episode because your ideas are way ahead. Mm-hmm. So just because you shared one episode, your ideas are here, and you're filming things behind the scenes and all of that. So I like the Barkada. I like that you chose obviously a Filipino word because the Filipino background, and we're bringing Filipino culture to the community, and this is just another way to educate people about different cultures that might not be the same as your own, and you might not have even heard anything about it, but you can learn about it and you can embrace it because we're all here. We're all humans. We're all part of our community. So within the Filipino community, Barkada is a word that they all know and accept. So within the Filipino community, the word Barkada is already widely accepted, and they know that it just means like your inner group, your close circle of friends, which is why I'm so glad to be here, because then that means we're friends, right? No, that's the best life when your husband is your best friend, right? Why not? I love that. So I love the idea of Barkada meaning your close group of friends, and then bringing that concept to the community, because if you haven't figured out who your close friends are in these COVID times, I'm pretty sure that you have. Like, this is the time when you're really seeing who is your bubble, perhaps, or who is just that innermost circle that is there for when you need it, because these are hard times that we're going through with the mental health and everything. So I like the idea of we don't have a word, just one word in the English language that just means your inner circle, right? We have to come up with a phrase, or your closest friends, right? And they have the word already, Barkada. So we're just using that word to share the Filipino culture, but then also bring that concept into American culture of, like, it's normal. We all have that really close inner circle of friends. So love the concept for the word itself, but then I just really like how that plays into so much else. Like, Manila is a huge part of it. And I don't know if you shared, there's so many stories, right, that we can share, but I don't know if you had shared about how, yes, you wanted Manila to be part of the Oshkosh community because you've lived here pretty much your entire life. Yeah. Coming from Indiana before. But the idea that, I don't know, do you want to talk about well, no, let's not get to that yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I like that he wasn't always sure about his food, right? Because you were kind of a minority in your classroom. And when I say kind of, I mean you were the minority in your school classroom.
Yes.
That's what happens if you grow up in Oshkosh 20, 30, 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's changed.
It has,
very
right?
much so, but yes.
Like, there's more diversity now, which is good, and which is why I think it's a good time to have a Filipino restaurant where people are much more open and accepting to diversity, and let's keep going in that direction, right? But one of the components that, maybe you'll tell the story a different time, so I'll just hint at it now, was that, you might not feel certain that other people would like your food. And so then when your friends are requesting it and your friends want to eat your food, it makes you feel good about it. You gain that confidence, and then you realize, like, wait a minute, this needs to be in the community. Like, this can be a community thing. I grew up up north in northern Wisconsin, so steak and potatoes, meat and potatoes.
Up in Anigo.
Anigo. T is silent, heavy on the O. And I wouldn't eat rice. I wouldn't eat shrimp. I hardly would eat anything when I first met him. And oh my goodness, my whole world has been expanded culinary-wise because of just all of the amazing food that his mom cooks and that he cooks and recipes that his dad shares, all of this amazing stuff. So I love that his friends had wanted him to share his food. And so that was just in that familial sense, right? Like, just with them in his Barkada. And then he was able to take that entire concept of, if my friends like it, the community will like it, and bring it to the community itself. So I love how that transitioned, and I love how your own Barkada had such an impact on Manila here today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the nice things about, one of the things I love about the restaurant, too, is it's a gathering space, right? And usually when we are gathering together, food is involved. And who doesn't love a nice spread of food, Like, ask any of our friends and stuff whenever they came over to our house or joined us when we were going to someone else's Filipino household, and they're, like, always amazed at how much food there is. Food, and then there's more food, We like to have parties, especially on Christmas, and we have dinner, and then what do we do? At midnight, we eat again. So we're just constantly eating, but it's all in good fun and with good company, so that's what I love about, one of the things I love about Manila Resto.
Yeah, it brings people together.
Another thing, too, that I really enjoy, seeing is, people celebrating, like, their special life moments and stuff like that. Anniversaries, birthdays, new job, just anything, really,
Well, and even, like, the weddings that you've had at your other business, Algoma Club.
Yeah.
When Manila caters for those weddings, and the guests are always like, oh my gosh, this was so good. Like, I've never been to a wedding that has food like this before, because come on, people are so tired of beef tips, right? So it's really nice to have Manila catering at different locations for weddings or up at Algoma Club for weddings, because it gives you something new to talk about, and it really just brings people together. I like that. I'm sure when you think of Thanksgiving, right, it's one of your favorite holidays because it's the food that's there, right, and it's like all these comfort foods, and it's family gathering. And so then when you look at Filipino culture, that's essentially what Filipino culture is. Like, you can't meet with people without eating with them. And so that's what you've brought here into the community. And so it's all coming together.
Yeah. So if you're ever visiting like a Filipino household, just be ready for them to feed you something.
Even if you're not tired, you're
You
not
might
hungry
extend your
enough.
stay a little bit, even if you just wanted to drop by and say hey or drop something off. Like, oh, come in. And then
Yeah.
we'll start whipping some food together for you.
Yeah. Can we talk about your Barkada logo and your Manila logo, though, and how much like that Barkada
Yeah.
influenced Manila, and now Manila logo influenced Barkada?
Yeah. So we wanted the Barkada podcast to be a little bit, or to have the capability of being a little bit more diverse. You know, like, yes, while we're promoting, you know, Filipino culture in Manila and stuff like that, we wanted to have just a different name, just to have it be kind of its own thing, you know. But yeah, we met with Drew over at Offbeat Press, and I had some sketches and stuff like that, and kind of shared the different ideas that I had in terms of trying to tie the Barkada podcast logo and the Manila Resto logo, you know. So, and he was able to take my sketches and put his ideas together with it, and him and his team did a great job, as they always do, you know. So something fresh, something different, different color scheme, but it still plays with our reds and oranges and yellows and stuff that we have here at the space. So yeah, I really like it. I dig it.
And if you've never noticed, so Manila has
The rice stem.
I was gonna make that like the wait for it part.
Oh, sorry.
Pretend you didn't hear that. It has like this whoosh of like green that goes across, and it's not just any whoosh of green. It's actually a.
Rice stem.
So it's a rice stem because rice is such a big part of the Filipino. It's in all of the foods. When you go to the Philippines, like, you can see the rice paddies all over. Like, there's the national landmark, or is it a Seven Wonder?
At one point, I don't know if it changes, but yeah, but the Banaue rice terraces.
Yeah, like mountain hillsides full of these flat rice terraces, all built in by hand, you know, over centuries or generations of people. So rice is obviously a huge part of Filipino culture, and so when we have the name Manila with that rice stem, it all just feels like it ties it together.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you did the Barkada podcast logo, it also
Yeah, we had
reiterates that.
portion of the headphone going over.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
So it's that headphone, and then you get the rice stem in there,
Yeah.
the rice leaf in there again.
Yeah.
So I think it was clever. I think it was cute. Drew does a great job. Actually, Drew did my logo work too.
Yeah.
He worked with me when I was like, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to go. Here are my ideas. Here's what I love. And I think he was the one that like coined the term PosiFit by combining positivity and fitness together. And so PosiFit was kind of his idea based on our conversations. What I love is that he really like works with you and listens to you,
Yeah.
and tries to get it exactly what you want. And so the PosiFit was born from that, and then I gave him some ideas that I had found off the internet. I'm not over here sketching like this guy, but I gave him some ideas, and he was able to perfectly flow it in. Like, there was one point with, as he had, I wanted a like cursive writing with the PosiFit. And there's one part where I'm like, well, it all kind of droops down, and I want it to be up, like uplifting. Can we make it more uplifting? And he knew exactly what I meant, and the next time around, it was perfect. So I've really enjoyed working with Drew in the logo that I created and the color schemes that we were able to pull through, and I feel like it has a nice, solid look. So Offbeat Press, if you're ever looking to,
Yeah. They
he
do
does
tons of stuff.
everything.
We got to get Drew on the show sometime.
Yeah, there you go.
Drew, you're on notice.
Yeah, he likes Manila food too. I bet he has his own recommendations.
Oh yeah, but also like we have so many awesome creative people around here. You know, shout out to Joshua and Carla over at Art City Wraps. They worked with us at the very beginning when we were designing our logo and everything. So it's certainly a fun process to work and collaborate with people here in the community that want to bring something to life. You know.
Yeah.
And I remember, you remember how many different ideas we had
Versions.
and stuff like that. Maybe I'll snap a picture of my Indo board. They printed off a whole bunch of like stickers and stuff of our different ideas for logos, and it's pretty cool.
And they were all so good. It was really hard to like narrow it down, but
Yeah.
it kind of was like, that's so cool, but not for the restaurant, right? Like maybe something else.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of really cool things that we said, well, maybe we'll make them into shirts someday or posters or prints or something. And we still have that option. But you're right, like the amount of creativity that flows through this city, from the music to all the art, it's awesome.
Yeah. Love to have those guys on the show too. So, Offbeat Press, Art City Wraps, come visit us.
There we go.
Right on. Well, we're gonna take a quick pause for the cause, and we'll get back to you shortly.
There we go.
Manila Resto now has delivery exclusively through ManilaResto.com. Visit us on our website to place an order or give us a call at 920-230-1082 to place an order for curbside, pickup, or delivery. Place an order anytime between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday, and let us bring your Manila Resto favorites to you. Mabuhay! All right, we are back, and with a special drop-in guest, Mr. John Harmon himself.
Yeah,
How you doing, friend?
well, I'm doing better now that I see you guys. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been so long. I mean, I've been the pianist here. I was from the beginning of their operation 7-8 years ago,
Yeah,
and obviously with what's going on, I'm not here.
Yeah.
So, but I sure miss it, and it's a beautiful place. And if you haven't been here, you're missing out because food is fantastic. The entertainment was really good, I think.
oh yeah. We can't wait to get you back in here for sure.
Oh, thanks.
But,
Thanks.
yeah, I mean, you were just in a neighborhood, right? Visiting Camera Casino.
Yeah,
Was
I
it
have-
Camera Casino where you got your passport picture? Or where'd
No,
you go?
actually, we got it at Walgreens.
Okay, okay.
But we had some other errands to do, and I said, we're going to be right next to Marlo's. Let's see if they're there.
Yeah,
And so we just popped in. I haven't been in Oshkosh since November, I guess it was.
yeah,
So had to take the chance, and here you are.
yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah, we got your familiar
Oh, yes.
house cab right there.
the
Yeah.
beverages are still wonderful.
Oh yeah, cheers.
I'll show you.
Yeah, no, John, yeah, like you said, has been with us right from the beginning, and it's
I've seen all the children as they're growing up and being born and stuff.
oh yeah,
It's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
a real family atmosphere here. So
awesome. No, I'm really glad you dropped by.
thank you.
Yeah.
I am too. We
So-
just took a shot. I think. Well, they might close it too. You know, for a while you were closing part of the
Yeah,
afternoon.
that's something new now.
But
And we're open
I'm
straight through.
glad our lucky day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad.
So we're going to order some food too. So
Yeah,
there you have
nice.
it.
So yeah, what's your go-to here? What did you order?
I ordered the rice bowl, the tofu rice bowl. It's,
Yeah.
I don't eat any red meat, so
Yeah,
it's a beautiful dinner. Beautiful dinner.
good.
I've
Good.
tried to mimic it at home.
Yeah. No.
Not quite. But I do okay, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Right on. So yeah, tell us what have you been up to?
Well, obviously, I haven't been performing, except I think a half a dozen virtual things I've done.
Okay.
A thing for New York City for the Alec Wilder annual contest, or not contest, annual celebration of Alec Wilder's life, composer guy. And I did I think it's called Backstage,
Okay.
which was really nice. Had 18, 19 people.
Yeah.
You know, I played some. Janet and I did a little playing,
Okay.
Janet Planet.
Yep.
And then they asked questions, and some wonderful things happened that night. Actually, a scholarship was going to be awarded at Lawrence University in my name
Oh.
as a result of that night.
Very cool.
So, I mean, it was wonderful. And the rest of the time, I was finishing a book that I had written, a second edit of a book on probably the most important band ever to come out of Wisconsin. I'm talking about Matrix,
Oh yeah.
and arguably one of the best. And we have plenty of reviews to prove it. So,
Yeah.
but the book is really fun. And
Nice. So how far away are you guys in terms of like completing that? Or did you guys just
Oh, no, we're
started?
done.
Oh, you're done. Nice.
Well, publisher may have us tweak stuff.
Sure.
We don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
it's the second edit, and it's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
I hope you do.
Is that going to be like available anywhere? Like, are
Oh,
you
yeah.
trying to be, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know when it gets released, and we'll definitely give you a plug in for that.
Okay. Appreciate that. And
Yeah.
people around here, many people will still, well, I'm still getting calls, letters, CDs and stuff from people all over the country, actually the world,
Yeah.
stuff from Europe and stuff. And they want to know, is Matrix available? Or
Yeah.
can I use your tune, or, stuff like that.
Neat.
And how much you influenced us. And we were pretty impactful, I guess. So,
Oh yeah. Very
but the story is really amazing.
Yeah.
Quite amazing.
nice.
So anyway, there's that, and then I'm about 80 pages into Symphony Number 6,
Sweet. Yeah.
so I'm just working,
Staying
and
busy.
I practice every day.
Yeah, of course.
The phone's going to ring one of these days, and I'm going to be here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We can't wait to get you back here
Well,
on
thank
Thursday
you.
night. So
Thank you. Me too.
yeah.
So
Well, thanks for dropping by. This is such a pleasant surprise,
Well-
I'm sure everyone's going to be so happy to see you.
well, that's really sweet. You can't imagine how much we miss this place.
Yeah. So we miss you, John. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for popping by.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We'll catch you soon.
Bye bye. Cool.
All right. We are back. That was a lovely surprise, wasn't it? Having John and
Surprise.
Trap here in house.
Yeah.
We miss them for sure. Like we had talked about in our conversation, he was here from day one, and he's been here for every Thursday.
He was a constant. He was like that huge part of Manila.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's glad to see that he's keeping busy, writing music,
Always.
practicing, playing, doing his thing, So
Did he talk to you about his book?
yeah,
No.
I told him that we need to have him back here sometime to kind of go in more detail about that.
Yeah. And I said, we're doing a signing party here, just so you know.
Yeah.
He said, okay.
That'd be fun. I
Yeah.
also mentioned that he should be doing an audiobook. That'd be kind of fun.
There we go.
For those people on the road or on the run, whatever. Mm-hmm. You have that playing in the background, and to hear the book, from the person that wrote it too, has that extra added element to things.
Yeah. Especially when it is a memoir type of a story, when he's sharing his story, what happened to him and
Yeah.
his band. It's way more effective hearing it from the first person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our next segment here, OSH-TALK. So let's get right into it and ask you, what do you love about Oshkosh? I guess, what brought you here first?
So I went to a different university and I transferred mid-semester because I wasn't happy where I was, and I thought, well, what are the things that I do love? And I said, the only class I liked when I was at that university was Spanish class, and so I thought, all right, what can I do with Spanish? And I said I could teach Spanish, and so I looked at what are the best UW schools for teaching, and that was UW Oshkosh, and so that was how I mid-semester. Or mid-year, I changed that semester to come to UW Oshkosh, my freshman year of college, way back a long time ago. And I've been here ever since, mostly because of my college sweetheart right over here. So once we were together, I knew we weren't leaving, and I had plans for, I don't know, I think mostly I just wanted to live on a beach somewhere in a different country. So that's what brought me to Oshkosh. I've stayed in Oshkosh because of him. And what was really neat is like even a lot of my roommates and I, we would talk about how like, oh, Oshkosh, we don't really like it. We don't want to be here. But here's the thing: if you have that mindset that you don't like a place, do you think you're going to find ways to fall in love with it? You're not. So through Marlo, I was able to find different things I loved, like the coffee shop or coming down for the farmer's market or all these really neat and cute things in the little boutiques that we have. The music that we always have in Oshkosh, the music in the park and the different library programs. Now that I have kids, like that's a different element and a different variety of what I'm looking for. But it just goes to show that you can make a place your home, right, if you have the right mindset. And so it didn't take me long then to flip the switch and to be happy here. And we love to travel. We travel a lot.
Yep.
But we say that we always choose to come back to Oshkosh. And so I think that in of itself speaks for itself. I don't even like winter that much, but I love a white Christmas and those types of things. So I think that if I had to choose, which we have to choose where we live, I choose to live here. And so I think I love the most then just about Oshkosh is just the variety of things that they have to offer, and that there's so many community people that are completely dedicated to the community and always are trying to come up with new events and find ways to support downtown businesses or just advertise it more. And I think that when you have really good people in the community, like that's makes the community as well. So
Yeah. Well, you mentioned boutique shops and stuff like that downtown, and we have some new neighbors. Moss and Grant. We just checked out some of the stuff that they have on Facebook, and it looks great. They're located at 428 Main Street. I hope I got the address right, but they are in Facebook, so check them out, Moss and Grant.
So they say that they have something for everyone, right?
Yeah,
Which I think is kind of cute. And flipping through the pictures, I was like, before I saw that like tagline, I was like, oh, there's some kids' clothes, there's some women's clothes, there's like all these different things, and it all looks really neat. And so I'm excited for the shop and to be able to see what they have.
Yeah. So their grand opening is on this coming Tuesday. What is that? So today's the 20th. 23rd? Let's say the 20th, February 23rd.
The 23rd.
So yeah, check them out. It's awesome to have new downtown neighbors, especially to see new businesses popping up.
And this time, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
in this time but here's the thing. I read an article on when you see like those big department stores that are closing, why is it that the boutique shops are staying open? And goodness, I wish I could reference this article better, but it's just popping into my head right now. And they said that so much about it is that one, there's not a lot of shoppers anyways in boutiques because it is smaller scale. But two, they're able to customize your shopping experience so much that you can talk to someone over the phone, or a lot of boutiques do their different video walkthroughs and then like highlight new items that they're featuring there. And so that boutiques really actually are thriving in this time. And so I'm super excited to see this Moss and Grant coming to our community because they're another addition. And if we can keep getting more boutiques down in this area, then the community will know, outside communities will know, like, hey, if you're looking for boutiques, be sure to go to downtown Oshkosh because there's so many there, and they all provide that great customized experience where you can shop online, shop over the phone, and then get curbside pickup with that boutique experience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's also another reason why we chose like the downtown location is that we just love the downtown community and everyone that's a part of it. And I think we all like complement each other because we're all a little bit different, with all the different offerings that we have. But it's definitely cool to see that we have such a variety coming right here in downtown Oshkosh. So, back to downtown Oshkosh. What did you think of like all like the holiday displays and everything that we had?
Oh my goodness,
going on.
We never ended up getting around to it, but my favorite. Well, okay, how many favorites do I have? I don't know. One of my favorites is of course the tree lighting, and that was a virtual experience this year. I think we were at the restaurant, so we ended up just kind of creeping over to, because it's right just over here, the Opera Square, and so the tree is right over in this area, and we had the kids, and we had our masks on, and there was hardly anyone because it was a virtual event, but the tree lighting itself is always so fun. And that is, like, obviously the tree lighting is synonymous with the time of the holidays. And so that marks the season and that feels special. But the one that we never got to was that cool vintage. Did Art City Wraps put that up? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that cool vintage Santa was just adorable on the side of that one building right on Main Street. That was one of my favorites. And I know, like, everyone's getting into the trends of the nostalgic feels of vintage more so again. But it just looks so good and so classic to see it up, and especially when we're going through a COVID Christmas, right? It was nice to have something different, something you could do that was outside. Go outside, take pictures with this big Santa
For sure.
mural. It felt good.
Yeah, and they had different Santas and stuff hung out throughout various locations. So we had a Santa head on our window.
Yes,
so
so
that
different fun activities, right? To do
Yeah.
with the family or with your friends, your Barkada.
Yeah.
And that you could go around and search for the different businesses that had the Santa hats. So you're searching for the Santa hats. Just a fun way. It goes back to those community people, right? The people who are making sure that Oshkosh is alive even in these stifling times of COVID.
For sure. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the rest of the Opera House Square shapes up in the next couple years, once we can get some more of those lights up to fill up the rest of the trees there. And even so, like, what we have up right now,
It's so pretty.
It looked really cool.
It looks like all of you, the Hallmark movies, right? Like, it looks like you're in a Hallmark movie with the way that the lights are, and you need to be going on a romantic stroll and fall in love with the guy you met when you were in third grade, and now you're all grown up and your paths connect again. Like, that's what it feels like when you see it. It's so perfect.
Oh, for sure.
Picture perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, Jessie, our brand new, she's been around for maybe almost a year now. But she started at an interesting time with, COVID and everything shutting down. So, but she's been doing a great job in introducing new things.
And her official title is?
She's the Downtown Oshkosh Bid Director, so the Business Improvement District.
Yeah, so she's got her hand in a lot of things that really are improving this area.
Yeah, and then one of the first things that she's brought to the table for this year is a new event series called First Fridays. So it's going to be starting on March 5th. So what the downtown has in mind is to bring people down on the first Fridays of each month. I think the event is being held between 4 and 9. So each shop, restaurant, store is asked to feature like an artist or music or some kind of thing that will be something to bring, you down to downtown and experience something cool, so that's pretty neat.
So again, it goes back to those unique experiences, right, that you're getting at these little boutique places or little tiny standalone restaurants that we are, these unique experiences. And again, the community is at the forefront of it, and it's a way to bring the community together in a safe way. We're going to do everything responsible because it's all ingrained into our heads now. Restaurants have been like on that train for us since day one in order to be open. So I just think it's great, and I think that it's clever with the First Fridays because even though things have slowed down, it is still hard to remember everything going on in our lives. And so First Fridays, we got it. First Fridays, make sure you're in downtown Oshkosh.
Yeah, nice ring, easy to remember.
Yeah, when does that start, do you know?
March 5th.
There we go.
Coming up soon.
March 5th, First Friday
Yeah.
in March. Look at that.
Let's see. I think right now we have, we have Andy Mertens and Calvin Casper
Awesome.
coming here. So we're going to have live music again. So
That's been a while.
It'll be a funky little jazz duo. They play everything. So it'd be nice to have live music here at Manila again. So very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked earlier about how there's so much creativity in this community and that the live music is one of the perks of Oshkosh, that there's so many talented musicians, and so that he's got such good connections that you end up getting like the best of the best here all the time. Case in point, you had John Harmon here, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's awesome. That's exciting. So we've already got that planned out then for the First Friday event, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Well, let's take a look at the sushi take-home kit from Manila, and then we'll get Patty's feedback here on what she thinks of it.
Perfect.
Ready for our date?
Always.
Looking for something fun to do at home? Get your Manila at Home Sushi Take-Home Kit and see what kind of sushi rolling skills you got. We make it easy and take everything that you need to make your sushi at home and put everything right in this box. Everything is separated into differently labeled containers, and we even created a tutorial video for you to follow along. No need to run to all the stores for all of your ingredients, and no need to prep anything else but yourselves for some fun.
Bam.
Right. Hey.
Show us what you got, and don't forget to tag us with your pictures on our social media pages.
This is really good. This is a lot of fun.
Give us a call at 920-230-1082 or order online at manilaresto.com for your Manila at Home Sushi Take-Home Kit. Bubuhay! So what'd you think?
Okay, I love sushi, first of all, of course. And I think that, yes, I love getting served at a restaurant and having it be easy, but how fun is that to do at home? That is so fun. Oh my goodness. And you're not serving it really to other people. So if it ends up looking awful, then that's okay. It'll still taste good, right?
Oh yeah. So what do you think of the talent?
The talent. Well, I am very biased, but I think my brother did a very good job, and my sister-in-law as well. So, yeah, it was really fun to be able to bring it to them, that they got to be some of the first people to try out the take-home sushi kit, and I'm sure that they appreciated, the coaching that goes along with it. But it was also really fun because we didn't know how many takes it would need to film that video.
It was like one shot.
Yeah, so we just used that one sushi kit, and so then we had a second sushi kit that we had on standby, and then the girls, my girl Evelyn, and then my niece,
yep.
They're the same age. They really wanted to do it with my brother and sister-in-law, but they did it afterwards, and they did a really good job too. Mm-hmm. You did the cutting, you cut the sushi for them. Mm-hmm. But other than that, they did it all on their own. So if a 7-year-old can do it and you're having any reservations about it, you can do it too.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun getting pictures and phone calls, FaceTimes. So live action, just like, hey, check it out. We got your kit. Like, it's awesome. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, keep them coming. If you guys got pictures, videos, whatever you want to share, love to see them. All right, so this week has been the start of an important week for a lot of Christians and lots of people in the Philippines, and that is the Lenten season.
Yeah.
A little history behind what my middle name is, which is my mother's maiden name. It's Quaresma, which means Lent. So shout out to Quaresma Farms, family farm out in the Philippines. Nueva Vizcaya. Bambang, what's up? So yeah, Quaresma means Lent, and it is a season that Filipinos remember, not just Filipinos, but in the Philippines they remember Christ's passion and suffering and death and resurrection.
Yeah,
so it starts with Ash Wednesday, 40 days before Easter.
Yeah. So with it being a Christian holiday, lots of Christians celebrate Lent. Being Catholic, I do think Catholics, I mostly know my perspective, right? So Catholics are really the ones who celebrate it, and then Catholics are the dominant religion in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, and I got some numbers here.
Stats.
86.8 million people in the Philippines are Christian. So that's out of the 93.3 million Filipinos. That's 93% of the population. So there's a lot of Christians. And Christianity was actually brought to the Philippines by the Spaniards during the conquer and discovery of the country in 1521 by Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan. Yep. But when he did discover the Philippines, he was sailing for King Philip II of Spain. So hence the name, the Philippines. But it was actually originally called Las Filipinas.
King Philip, Philippines.
Yep. but they spelt it Felipinnas.
Like Felipe.
Yep.
Another Spanish name. So the Quaresma being a Spanish word makes sense now if you're like, oh, because it was conquered by a Spanish ruler. Okay.
Yep.
Now it all makes sense that Filipinos would have Spanish embedded into their language.
Not only in the language, but many aspects of the food and culture, were brought and meshed with. It's a melting pot. The Philippines is such a melting pot, right?
Yeah, like we sometimes, America is called a melting pot, but really it's not. It's more that tossed salad, right? You have that pockets of different things. You have your Chinese food, or even like you go to some communities and they have the Chinese, what am I trying to say? When we go down to Chicago.
Oh,
and we
Chinatown.
Go to Chinatown, there we go.
Yep.
Chinatown. You have China. So it really is more like that salad where you can see all those separate pieces, whereas the Philippines, that's the melting pot, because that really, you have the indigenous culture, you have the Spanish culture, and then of course, because it's a part of Asia, you have all of the Asian influence as well in it, and it all really does melt together. And so even in, like some people used to speak Spanish, I think that was required during that time, right? But now with the language being Tagalog, in Tagalog, that's another example of that melting pot because Spanish is embedded in the Tagalog language as well. So it's in the history, it's in the culture, it's in the language, it's in the food, it's in so much.
Yeah, to play on a little bit, to give people a little bit more of an understanding for how long, like, Spanish was there. They were there for 333 years.
So that's going to make an impact,
yeah,
right?
For sure. And it was the Philippines remained under Spanish rule until the year 1898, after the Spanish-American War. So then the Americans occupied the Philippines for quite some time too, and then we
don't have as many notes now. Now you got to come up with it off your head.
Yeah, 1945.
Oh, because of World War II.
Yeah,
okay.
That was when the treaty was signed. And the Philippines was then known as an independent republic. So we'll have to do some fact checking and we'll correct ourselves if we're wrong.
Or you know what? The internet loves to correct people. Feel free to correct us. It's fine.
But, do want to take this moment to be like, another thing that's been awesome about doing this podcast is it's rekindled my interest in digging in a little bit more to where we come from and all the history and stuff behind what makes us who we are. It's cool, like whatever culture or background that you come from,
embrace it. Yeah. And I adopted myself into the Filipino culture because I'm raising children who I want them to be proud of their Filipino culture. I know that they're in a predominantly white society, but I want them to be super proud of their family legacy, where they came from, their ancestry, all of that. It's important because it's part of how they're made, right? And so the family traditions that we have, I take it upon myself to learn a lot. Even when we opened up the restaurant, I was teasing him that I knew more of the history than he did because like that was my part. I was coming up with the menu and coming up with the story behind all of the different menu items so that we had a story to tell with each recipe we were sharing. So I was doing a lot of research, and I think it's really helpful raising bicultural children then so that they are proud of who they are, whichever aspect that they want to look at it, they're proud of who they are.
For sure. Well, we got to keep working on their Tagalog. Lolo, Lola, Ninong, all you guys.
They need some lessons there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
We really tried to raise them bilingually, but it's easier to speak in English for all these people who have been in the country for 40 years, right, speaking English.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, what do you got there, bud? You got what you're looking for? Prawn chips? They're yummy. Hear that crunch.
So those are the snacks we use on the table when guests are first seated. We'll bring out a bowl of prawn chips, and so they're just like a shrimp-based tapioca starch. They're real simple, but man, if you need that, you're craving that crunch factor, they're perfect for that. So the kids love those as well.
Record.
Nope, we're good.
All right, so this is Evelyn, and this is Reginald. He's a baby. He wants to be a babysitter when he grows up, like you said before.
Evelyn, how old are you and what grade are you in?
I'm 7, and I'm in 1st grade.
What do you
Yeah.
like about Manila? Coming to the Manila Resto.
I like the sushi take-home kit.
Yeah? What else? What else do you like to eat here? What did you have yesterday? Your sliders?
My favorite are sliders, and my favorite used to be the calabasa.
I ordered the calabasa last night. It's so good.
Yum.
Calabasa is a Spanish word for a squash. So it's a squash dish in coconut milk, and it is so good. I added shrimp because Friday during Lent, I don't eat meat, so I added shrimp to mine. But you always add shrimp to yours, right? Yeah.
Yummy yum.
And on Friday I had sliders.
And you guys like the edamame too, right? Those are fun to eat.
What do you
Yeah.
think your favorite dessert is here?
Volcano cake and halo halo.
Oh, there's volcano cake again, Patty.
Yeah, volcano cake. I know, it's a recurring theme. And what is halo halo? Can you explain a little bit about halo halo?
Halo halo is
So let's say we start it with a dish, a glass dish, and then what do you put in?
you put in jackfruit and colorful cubes,
Kind of like Jello, gelatin cubes.
and gelatin cubes, and
It's coconut.
coconut shreddings, and
Whole bunch of stuff, right?
a whole bunch of stuff, and then ice, and then you put ice cream and ube and leche flan,
Ooh.
and then
What do you finish it with?
and then you finish it with a cherry.
Cherry on top, huh?
Do you normally just get one cherry on yours? No?
I
How?
usually get 2, 3, or 4.
So if you know the chef and you're as cute as this girl, you can get 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
Usually there's just one though, right?
If we're not making it.
And they've also been training how to make their own halo halo. And
only
Evelyn,
thi-
you've
the-
been training how, what else to do? To do what else?
Serving.
Serving. She's been training as a server as well. So,
She'll be running the place in no time. That's for sure.
done.
Right on.
Anything else you want to
Well,
say before you go?
I just want to say thank you for tuning in today. It's been an interesting one. Like we tried to do a recording during business hours, and I'm trying to keep the kids busy too. But life of a small business owner, like the kids are very much a part of it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like I love having them around. I love seeing them be a part of everything, and it's fun seeing them interact with guests and having the guests interact back with them too. Like Evelyn gets super excited when she, makes a tip,
Ooh, do you like earning tips?
Yes, I make them a bunch.
Yeah, she makes them a bunch. She makes them a lot.
Like once a year.
More than that. But yeah, now this Barkada Podcast is also about showing a different side of things that you may not normally see. But again, thanks for listening and being a part of the journey and seeing how things go as we're getting this thing going. So
Yeah. I think just like anything, there's growing pains, right? And we're learning as we go. And
yeah,
we're learning maybe we won't do this again during restaurant hours.
Even just watching the first episode and everything like that, I'm already thinking of different things that we could do to improve it. And that's how you learn. You take it as it comes, and you learn from past experiences.
Yeah. So I would hope that we shared a lot of things with you today, but maybe what you can take away from it is that you have your Barkada. You already have it. Maybe you don't have a word for it, but you already have your Barkada. You have your close people in your life. So I hope what you're taking away from this is that you have your own Barkada. You have your close circle of friends, and they are people who are truly important to you, and that you reach out to them when you need them, that you keep them in your circle, and you keep that communication open. I think that's one big lesson, and I think the other big lesson is that just like we shared how Manila started, just like how we're sharing how the process of Barkada Podcast is starting, like it's going to be scary, there's going to be mistakes along the way, but the only way we can get through these things is just by trying and moving forward, and we keep on going.
And finding babysitters.
And maybe that too. All right. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. This was really fun.
No, yeah. Well, you'll be a regular guest for sure.
Look at that. You guys heard it here. You heard it here.
I'm sure between you and Tim, you guys can talk. I'll be the moderator.
Oh, maybe, but it might extend a bit too long. We'll see. We're both talkers.
But also, it's February 20th, and that means it's Stephanie's birthday.
Stephanie.
Patricia's sisters.
She has a big, fabulous birthday this weekend, so shout out to her, and we'll celebrate with you tomorrow. She's part of our own bubble. Our Barkada family is super important. They are our best friends, and so we'll be celebrating her tomorrow.
Yeah, and, what a time to be living in. I mean, this pandemic is one thing, but just to be able to have the connectivity that we do, through technology and social media, like video conferencing things and stuff like that, like, it's great. I mean, I think we've actually been in touch with our family a lot more than we have in previous years because, we have a regular Saturday night call that we have with them, and we've been going every weekend. Like, no matter where everyone is, like, we tune in. So
yeah, that's been pretty neat.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Hope you are following us on our social media pages and on our website. We'll be getting this up as soon as we can. And on episode 3, Tim's going to be coming back, and we'll also be bringing in another one of our friends, Nate Boyce. So be on the lookout for a couple new episodes, hopefully coming up here and released here in the next couple of days. So.
Yeah. So if you liked this podcast, if you got something out of it, if you thought it was just cute or whatever it was, share it with someone else. We're all about sharing it so that we can teach about Filipino culture within our community, share about our amazing restaurant that we have here, and then to share like how we're just two regular people who are trying to make some of our dreams come true, and here we are.
Yeah, right on. All right.
Thanks again.
Yeah, we'll see you at home.
Bye.
I'll see you at home. See you at home. All right, now what can I help you with?